My name's Austin Nation, and I'm here to share with you a little bit about who I am and my story that I'll be performing at Curtis Theater, Becoming Austin Nation. I've been performing ever since junior high school. One of my first shows that I ever performed in, I played Frederick Douglass. I'll never forget that. It was incredibly fun for me, and it really sparked my interest in theater. Since then, I played a number of roles, my signature role being the role of Horse in a show called The Full Monty. Absolutely love that part. I played that part twice. It was interesting playing that role 10, 15 years apart. Writing is actually new for me. This show, Becoming Austin Nation, was originally intended to be my autobiography. I'm still wanting to turn this into a bestseller. How it came about is I saw one night on the internet an ad from some theater company called Wayward Artist, Wayward Voices, and they were looking for shows from BIPOC and underrepresented artists. And so I took a chance and wrote up something and submitted it. And I'll be darned if I didn't win the contest. And I was so shocked to get that call from them saying that I had won first place. And that started the journey. Next up, I had to write an entire show. And so I got busy. Sort of the rest is sort of history, as it would go. The show sold out for the one night that they had originally booked me for, and I ended up running into a second performance. I was so lucky and so honored. It was such a great response. After that, my producer suggested that I take this show to Hollywood Fringe Festival. They thought it needed some bigger exposure. And so I did 5 performances there at the Los Angeles LGBT Center at the Renberg Theater. Took the show there digitally there afterwards to Edinburgh Theater Festival. The show in Hollywood garnered a couple of awards. The El Turin Award, sponsored by the Hollywood Fringe Festival Access Committee, which I didn't get, but was honored just to get that kind of recognition. But I was even more excited to get nominated for Best Cabaret Concert Solo Performance by Broadway World Los Angeles. Yes. Waiting to find out if I won. I'm still, in the meantime, so excited about bringing this show to Curtis Theater audiences. So once I found out I had won the Wayward Artists, Wayward Voices contest, I started writing that show back in November of 2021. And I had to get that ready to be performed by February 2022. So it was all of about 3 months that I had from the initial idea of submission to getting that show ready to go. You know, the ideas always lived inside of me. I mean, after all, it's my life story. I mean, everyone has always told me that my life would be a great book. But for me, it was a very cathartic and healing process for me to really put this story on paper. It's a story of hopes, dreams, trials, tribulations, perseverance, and love. I really take the audience on an emotional roller coaster. It's a story that I feel is incredibly important. It's a story that needs to be told as only I can tell it. It's a LGBT historical piece as I see it. And I'm glad to be alive and able to share my story with the world. The response has been overwhelming. In addition to the award nominations that I got from Hollywood Fringe Festival and Broadway World Los Angeles, there has been so much love by so many people who have come to the show at all the different locations. I had sponsors for the show at Hollywood Fringe, a number of major organizations that had sponsored the show, and so many friends and loved ones have offered so many words of encouragement. I'm particularly excited about bringing this show to Curtis because Curtis Theater will be my largest audience ever to hear this show. This is the exact same original show that I've been performing from the very beginning. There have only been a few little minor edits and updates that I pulled from my recent performance of a show called Behind the Mask that I did at Long Beach Community Theater. Just a little snippet to help sort of enhance the storyline. I would tell another artist to be prepared to be surprised when it comes to writing up your autobiography and what comes up as you write your story. Honestly, I knew my major defining moments in my life, but once I started writing and remembering things about my past, it became very emotional and sometimes painful things to have to experience again in my mind. There are many moments that I start to really think more deeply about things, the good and the not so good. I want my audience to have an opportunity to hear the story of a gay Black man living and thriving with HIV/AIDS for over 30 years. And I want them to come away from my show with more tolerance, love, acceptance, and a deeper understanding of the issues happening with people like me in the LGBT community. I'm dreaming of taking my show to Broadway one day. That's the dream that I want to manifest in 2023 and 2024. I want the world to hear my story. I believe it's that important. I'm also dreaming of having a part in a Broadway musical one day where I can use all of my talents, acting, singing, and dancing. That's also on my bucket list. I'm super excited and really looking forward to this particular performance at Curtis Theater. It's going to be one of the major highlights of my life and my acting career, being able to write and star in my own show. That's really beyond my wildest dreams. Thank you, and I'll see you at my show.